Today we're going to keep it simple, keep it easy with a new series of mine called Let's Keep It Easy inZOI How-To Guide, where I go over some things that you may or may not know gameplay wise. With this series, I want to go over casts, gameplay features, and general updates. With the nature of early access games, gameplay features and roadmaps are subject to change. However, that doesn't mean we can't make, a little bit easier for new and veteran players to better navigate the game. So let's just get right into the video. Start off this series, and this will be the first one. What we're going to do is start off with the display, going through the settings, going through graphics, audio, screen, simulation, control, gameplay, mods, game information, and experimental. So this is what this whole video is going to be centered around. I will also have timestamps and the key that I'm going by in the description and comment section, so you guys can follow and or use it, to your leisure, so you can, tweak your game the way you feel based off of the information given, so you know what you're doing. And so we're going to start off with display mode. So in display mode, you can choose Windows full screen, windowed, or full screen. I have mine at window full screen because it's easier for me to alt tab and just go off and do other things without having to worry about my game freezing or it stopping whatever it's doing. It still plays kind of like in the background. Resolution is the next one, where you can choose between 1920 to 1080p. You can go as high as to 2560. So yeah, resolution scale. I have this set at 100, and I'm just going to quickly go over it. Adjust the internal render resolution to balance graphics quality and performance. So basically, it's to keep your screen from not necessarily tearing, but just not looking blurry and looking bad. So it just makes it sure that it looks nice and quality and crisp. Dynamic resolution. I have this set to off, and the reason why to do that is to keep your quality, like your FPS from jumping all over the place, basically. So you don't want it doing that, so keep it off. Dynamic resolution target FPS. I have that set to 60. It keeps your game running smooth unless you're using a older monitor. Go by your monitor's resolution specs. To do that, you go to you right click on your monitor's back screen and you go to display settings, and you can look in there and you can find in the information for the monitor and see what the FPS or resolution recommendation for your monitor there. So if you're having experiencing a lot of tearing and weird stuff, that's probably why. And so you need to fix your monitor's resolution so your game can fit that. And to fix that, you turn it on and then you change it to, let's say for instance, your monitor does 30 frames per second. You'll do this and then you can turn it back off, and it does that for you. Okay, good. The next one is AMD FSR3. Now, I don't know what this is for NVIDIA. I am on a AMD card, but if you see this, something like right here, that's going to be NVIDIA's version of it. So keep that in mind. So the AMD FSR3 is basically, it gives you a significant FPS boost, and I have mine's turned off because I don't see a difference of turning it on or off, for at least for me. Now in this key, it will say that you can turn it on so you can get better quality, but I don't see a difference in it, to be honest. But I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. You can turn it on. AMD FSR3 frame generation. Now this one is attached to this thing up here. You can turn it on or off. I again keeping it off, for what I have going on. So, but I will read you quickly what it says. An AI upscaling feature supported by AMD GPUs. Again, translate this over for NVIDIA users. So if you're using a video card, whatever it says for this, that's what that's the same thing. Renders images at a lower resolution for better performance, and to use AI to upscale them for better quality. Available modes in order of quality include ultra performance, performance balanced, quality, off, and native AA. I have mine's off. Anti-aliasing mode. Now with anti-aliasing mode, it's basically making sure that everything is smooth. All your edges are crispy and nice and soft. I don't know why I said it like that. You can fiddle around with this setting because some people said that things work better with them having TAA. Mine's, for me, work really well with TSR for now, and so that's why I haven't set it. But again, just fiddle around with it and see what works best for you. Maximum FPS, I have that set at 60 because it basically makes sure that everything runs smooth again. So the next one is vertical sync. I have this turned on to basically stop the weird horizontal line tearing that I have noticed. And if you turn on vertical sync, it basically eliminates that. Now we're down here to post processing. Depth of field, I have this turned off. If you have it on, it makes everything more cinematic, and again, it's very taxing on your computer. So if you don't need it on, don't have it on unless you're doing machinimas or something like that. Tangent of the day, motion blur. Keep that crap off. Motion blur makes no sense in this game unless you're doing machinimas. Simple as that. Kind of like depth of field, but depth of field isn't that jarring. But motion blur, why that though? Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand motion blur other than making movies. But I'm not making a movie. I'm playing a game. Motion blur, go away. That's what I'm gonna say. So unless you're doing machinimas or you just like the feeling of being tossed around and your vision looking like you own one, keep it on, or not keep it on, but keep it off and turn on if that's what you want. Next one, nighttime vision sensitivity. I keep it on 50%. It's the standard to make sure that your nighttime doesn't look too bleh, like very dark. I like to see. I'm blind. I wear glasses, so I keep it at the standard. Advanced ray tracing. I would say this is another tangent, but more and more games are using ray tracing, but I don't see the benefit of it yet, because especially if you have an older card, I keep ray tracing off. Clear PSO cache. This right here is to basically make it so that if you're having stuttering or lag in your game, like after a long time of playing, and definitely use this after an update. So especially after updates, it will be in the key that it says that, clean after updates. Definitely clean this up after, use this after updates, because it again clears out a lot of the extra stuff that is going on in the background that make me muddled with the stuff that you currently have. Occlusion method. Occlusion method is good for shadow depth, and if you put it on hardware, it basically deepens everything for you and rounds it out, but it's good for more modern GPUs according to this key. And having it off or use depth information, you can do either one of those, and I will post this up right here so you can see what each thing does. Optimize performance by not rendering objects that are outside the camera's view. If you have it off, reducing popping effects but impacting performance. Use depth information. Uses depth information for efficient occlusion, balancing performance and quality. Hardware performs precise occlusion calculations using only your GPU, improving quality. I have it set to hardware because even though my card's a little bit older, she can still do this really well without making my game lag. Nanite. It is detail loading. So it's basically loading in all your details, like when you come into a world. And it allows Unreal Engine 5 to manage high detailed objects efficiently. So I have this turned to auto, so it can automatically do it when I get into the game. Shadow display. This is new. This came with the update, so I did have to go and look and hunt for it, but I did get the information for this. And so shadow display is basically the range of your shadows. It high prevents shadows from popping in as you walk towards objects. So basically it'll have it already rendered in as you're getting closer. So instead of it just going boop out of nowhere and being random and like throwing off your immersion. Now down to the presets. I have mine on custom, but I started off on high and then worked my way around until I got it to where I want it to be. So we're going to first start with the first 5, and this is just distance to 2 things in your game. So character display distance, object display distance, lighting display distance, shadow distance, and background detail quality all kind of work in the same fold. You just want to be able to see everything clearly without it popping in out of nowhere. And so I keep this on high so that when I'm at a certain distance, things don't just pop out of nowhere for me. Doesn't mean it's perfect, but it does look a whole lot smoother, especially with the new graphics update that we got in March. Anti-aliasing quality. I have that joker on ultra. I don't know why I said it like that, but yeah, I have this on ultra. Again, it makes my game look more smoother. It's very, very clear, very crisp. It's definitely good for like making sure that your hair and clothes look good and soft. But I feel like medium is a really good soft spot for people who have medium to low end PCs. Post-processing quality. Post-processing quality. I have this on ultra as well. It adds better lighting, bloom, and color depth. In fact, it does, and make sure that my world doesn't look flat. And so keeping it on ultra or high keeps my world from looking, again, very flat and or muddled. Shadow quality, I have that at high. It's kind of like the same thing with anti-aliasing and post-processing. It's just to make sure that your shadows look really good. They don't look jagged and and they look smooth. Cast shadows, lighting, cast shadows, street lights. This is the same thing. I keep them on. It's just to make sure that your not your shadows, but your lighting and the shadows around your lighting don't look, again, displaced or weird or popping in out of nowhere. They just keep them nice. Realistic shadows, I have this turned off because it doesn't service me. And it has been for the most part, but most people on Discord can agree. It does not service anybody right now. Until they get that fixed on the new engine, keep it off and continue to keep it off. And if it causes problems with your game and causing it to heat up and act the fool with you. So again, keep it off. Method of global illumination. And they changed this a little bit. So now it's no longer just one big tile. They broke it down into two things. So now instead of just global illumination, it's method of global illumination and global illumination quality, because it used to be just this one, global illumination quality. I have mine set on lumen. It's a lot nicer. It's very crisp, and I can go right here and show you what's the difference between the screen space GI and the lumen. Global illumination method configures the method for calculating indirect lighting where light is reflected off of the surrounding environment. Screen space GI. This method calculates indirect lighting based on the information visible on the screen. Lumen. This method calculates light reflections across this entire scene in real time to produce realistic indirect lighting. I don't know why I struggled to say that. But yeah, this is what they do. And I like it on lumen because it does look a whole lot nicer and a lot crisper without it being too hard on my computer. Global illumination quality, I have this set to medium. The reason why I have it set to medium because on high and ultra, it doesn't look much different to me. And on medium, at the very least, I don't have to worry about it working my computer as hard. So I have it set on medium, and it seems to be kind of like how I had it before the update. So reflection quality. There ain't no change in this. There is no change in this. I don't know what it is about Unreal Engine about producing reflections, but they don't do it. They all look smudgy. So I don't even worry with this. I do have it set to high. I don't remember keeping it on high. I thought I for sure changed it to medium, so it didn't got changed back. But I had this on medium or either very low because again, it doesn't do anything for my reflections because the reflections still look muddy. So I'm gonna make sure that before I get out of here, I'm gonna put the reflections low to very low, excuse me, because again, they do not service me. Texture quality. I have this at ultra. Texture quality controls the resolution for images on object surfaces like textures. So higher values produce better visuals but increase memory usage. Hopefully they will be fixing the memory usage leak that's been going on with the game, so this won't be as taxing on the computer. But this is one of the things that I will be just consistently using anyway, regardless of how it may make my computer sound like it's about to implode. I'm joking. It doesn't sound like it's about to implode, but I do keep this on ultra because I like the way it looks. In fact, I would prefer this over just dealing with reflections, because at least on the floor, when my floor is shiny, I can still kind of see myself a little bit and I don't look as smudged. So texture quality stays at ultra for me. But again, you can still use medium and it still looks pretty nice. Effects quality. I have this also set at ultra. Adjusts the visual quality of special effects. Higher values produce more detailed and visually enhanced effects. And that's what this does. So say for instance, you decide you want to make a creepy house with smoke or fog or something like that. It will look a whole lot nicer when you make that room, and vice versa. Plant density and quality. I have this at high because I'm not looking that hard at plants. However, at least on high, it still looks really good. So I don't see any reason to make this ultra. Shader quality. Controls the rendering quality of materials affecting gloss, textures, and reflections. Now this also goes along with the texture quality. So this just basically adds onto that and make sure that that stuff is rounded out and does look as crispy as possible. And it do. Ray tracing quality. Again, I don't mess with this. It's set at very low because I don't need it. I have it off anyway, so it's pointless to have it. But in the case that you do, just know this, that higher settings produce more realistic graphics, but may impact performance. Ain't no may, it will. And for the most part, it looks kind of grainy on AMD cards, at least my AMD card. I can't say that for anyone that has a series higher than the one I have, which is a 6800 XT. So again, take this what my settings are and even what I'm saying right now with a little bit of grain of salt, and also do your research, because again, I'm going this based off of my card and not generalized AMD cards. Ray tracing objects. Again, this is just letting you know that what each one of these things do for the indirect lighting in your place with ray tracing on those things. I don't use this, but I did put it to fallback mesh in because it still had to be on very low. So it improves my performance by using simple objects for ray tracing. And so that's what I'm using, and that's what I'm sticking with. Now we have audio. Now, audio is very simple, very straightforward. You have your master volume. I have mine set at 40 because it's a whole lot easier to hear what I'm doing when I'm doing videos, and also not to like overload my ears or y'all's when y'all are listening to my videos. Background music volume, I have this set at 4% because I don't need it that loud. I just don't. And also I don't know if the music is copyrighted. So I ain't playing them games. Sound effects volume, I have this at 81% because I do like to have the different sound effects. Like for instance, if Zoe is watering their plants, or I would like to have those sound effects. UI volume, this is for when I'm clicking around on the screen, as you can see, so you can hear that clearly. Dialogue volume, this is for your Zoes when they're talking, and they're very special Zoe talking. But you can clearly hear it. Video volume, this is for like, for instance, when your Zoe is watching TV and so forth like that, so you can hear the TV more clearly. Background audio, I have this on because again, I have my background music playing, but it is very low, and because I still want it in the background when I'm doing other stuff, because it is very nice music and it's very soothing. All right, onto screen. Screen brightness, I have mine at 40% because sometimes it's too bright, and so I took it off of the 50% and put it down to 40%, and it looks really good. It's a nice medium, so at nighttime does feel like nighttime, especially when I'm out being sneaky with anyway. Just know that my Zoe's be up to all kinds of shenanigans, and she don't need to be caught doing said shenanigans. UI size. This is basically when you're changing your size of your UI from small, medium, and large. I keep mine at small because it works best with my screen. HUD minimap UI display. So the HUD, I don't know why I said it like that. So HUD is for the mini map. You can turn it on and off. I have it turned on because I do like my little mini map. I like to see what my Zoe's doing, whatever they're doing around the city. Simulation, outfit simulation. I only set this to my Zoe because this is for your clothes moving and your hair moving. So having it only on my Zoe makes it much less intensive on my computer. So I keep it to my Zoe, and it keeps my computer from imploding. Animation quality, I have this set up to 10 milliseconds. So this animations be more smoother and less choppy or complete. I don't know why I said it like that, but yeah, I have it at 10 milliseconds. Now do whatever fits for you, because they do have a thing in here. It says animation quality controls the maximum duration in milliseconds for animations. Lower values improve performance, while higher values results in smoother animations. However, they did not go over or specify that if it will cause performance issues, but always assume that if something needs that brings up about lower values being improving performance, just assume that if you put it up higher, it would cause issues for your performance. Day length, I have mine set at 96, but the default is 48. And there's also 4 hours and 24 hours. And for those of you who are doing 24 hours, stop it. Get some help. I'm just messing. No, I'm just messing. No, I might one day do a 24 hours let's play. We'll have to see. I feel like I will go insane trying to do that, but it'll be a very fun, interesting experiment to see what it's like to do a 24-hour Zoe day. But again, like I said, we'll have to see. Aging player families. Now this is just enabling it on and disabling it. So if, say for instance, you want to do a specific challenge, or you just want to do a world where none of your Zoes die from aging, you can turn it on and off for your main family and for the families that you do not play. Dynamic physique, dynamic muscles. This is basically an on and off button for whether your Zoes will gain weight, lose weight, gain muscle, or lose muscle. So that's what this is for. Maximum idle family capacity. This is set for the recommended 200 for me. I've set that set at that and keeping it there because right now idle families don't do much of anything other than sit in the family bin. And I will show y'all where that is located in the managing city tab. So yeah, but I keep mine at 200 because otherwise it'll start causing lagging and performance issues. Auto generate player family schedules, I have that turned off. It was fun for the very first month I was playing inZOI when I was learning the city and the routes and where to go and what to do. And having your Zoids just go to random events that pops up for them on their schedules. It was very nice. It was very unique and it's still unique to inZOI, but I have mine turned off because I've been playing it for a while and I don't really want my Zoids going off doing random stuff when I want them to do something specific. Now this is the aging speed. This is also new to inZOI's settings area from the new update. Now the aging speed, you can choose to have everybody aging and whatever at the same time, or you can use individual settings. So as you can see right here, I have mine as use individual settings. Newborns are at 4 speed. So I'm going to also have a key for this as well from what I've read on Reddit and from what I've tested myself. 4 times speed means you're going faster. So say your babies age up in 3 days, or the newborns age up in 3 days. When you put it on 4 times speed, babies now age up in 1 day. That is essentially what happens. Same thing for toddlers. If you have it on 1 or 0.25, they age slower. But if you put it on 2 times speed, they're 4 days or 3 days, or I think 7 days is shortened to 3 to 4 days. And child, I have it at 1 speed, so they are pretty much normal. Adolescents, I'm speeding this all the way up because it's such a I don't want to say a nothing burger stage, but it's kind of a nothing burger stage. You don't really do anything specific as adolescents. So I just speed that on up. Teenagers, I have this one going slow because I do like to play at the teenagers life stage, letting them go and figure out things for themselves. Same thing for young adults. Adult is 1 speed, so they stay normal. Same thing for middle age and same thing for senior. They all are the standard age rate. Adjust pregnancy duration, I kept it also standard. I'd like the 3 days that they do take to have children, especially if I'm doing this challenge that I'm doing. I cannot be bothered. I cannot be bothered to have the pregnancy lasting too long, because from what I've seen on my last playthrough when I was playing my family for my baby boom challenge, she started having weird cravings with water. She constantly was washing her hands and drinking water. It was weird. It was very, very, very weird. All right, now we're going to control. Now, I did not do a key for this, but I will go through it quickly for you guys. So you just, again, this is not, I don't have a key for this one, but I will go over it for you. Shoulder view mouse sensitivity. I keep it at 100 because it's essentially just adjusting the mouse sensitivity. So when you're moving and looking over the Zoid's shoulder, it only goes just 100% speed. But if you have it higher than it, then it's more sensitive. Shoulder view wheel speed. Again, same thing kind of with the mouse sensitivity and moving it around. With the wheel speed, you can zoom in and zoom out. I keep it at medium. Top view scroll wheel speed. I keep this at medium. So when I'm scrolling up and down with my mouse outside of the shoulder view thing, just like if you just top down viewing, it goes medium speed. Edge scrolling, I have this off because I don't need it on. I had it on at one point trying to reminisce a little bit on Sims 3 and Sims 2. However, it doesn't work when you have windowed full screen. So keep that in mind when you're messing around with this area. Keyboard presets. I keep it as this because that's what I know. I play other games besides Life Sims. So I play with the WSD thing. And I know they call it like that, but it's basically WSD and so forth like that. Auto target and shoulder view for keyboard. I don't know why we need an auto target. That's interesting. Are we shooting somebody? Are we turning this game into a shooter somehow? I hope not, but I'm gonna just read what it says. When a Zoid gets close to an interactable target, it highlights automatically and you can open the interaction menu with the F key. Okay, so I'm guessing this is when you push tab, and when you go into tab mode, your Zoids can go up to something and then it see the little F button and you can click on it. So, okay, didn't know that I have that turned on. Auto vehicle camera for keyboard. So let's read what this is. The camera automatically turns to follow your vehicle's direction. Interesting. I have that off, so I don't know what that really does, but I might tinker around with it later on to see what that's about. Interaction menu navigation key. Set whether to navigate the interaction menu using movement keys, WSD, or arrow keys. I have mine to movement keys and arrow keys. I like it that way. It's easier for me. And if you are one of those people who would prefer to have WSD as your camera keys, there is now an option to do that, but it's not in this screen right here. It's another one, and I will go into that one later on. Not in this video, but it will be in the video, so stay tuned. Also, a little quick pause, not to go on a tangent, but just a quick pause in the video. Tell me how you're feeling about the content. Do you like this sort of informational content? And if you would like for me to continue to do this and to, basically go over different things that you don't feel like is not covered well enough in this game, and just generally just give me your thoughts, leave it down in the comment section, and let's open a discussion, everybody. Let's get discussing. Anyway, back to the game options. Top view keyboard control target. So I'm gonna go over this. Sets what to control with the WSD on the keyboard. So for me, it's to move my ZOI, but you can choose through here, and you can go camera movement. So actually, interesting. So you can still do this. That's actually really nice. I like that. But I think they've always had this, but now that you can set hotkeys now, that's what it is. You can set hotkeys now. I don't know why I could not think for the life of me of what they added in this new update, and it's hotkeys. So you can change up what goes and does what, instead of relying on this system right here, which they've always had here. But you can just choose them, whatever. So for those who did not know, this is how you are able to do it without the hotkeys. And now that we have the hotkeys, I can go over that later on how to do that. But this is what you could do without it. If you didn't feel like looking for it, or if you didn't feel like waiting, this is what you can do. You can change this to here. So you can use the arrow keys to move your ZOIs and use the WSD to move your camera. And this is kind of one of those little fixes that they had, but I don't think a lot of people covered it. But yeah, build mode, camera pan speed at 50%. It's the same thing as the things up at the top where it's just medium. So same thing for camera rotation speed, camera zoom speed, and and so forth like that. Wall placement guidelines. I have this set on because I like it. It is one of the most intuitive things that they put in this game that I am so glad they put. Like, they may not have a lot of quality of life stuff in the build mode area, but that wall placement guideline thing, W. That is a W thing that they could have ever put in there, because I am so finicky about placing walls accurately. And so when I'm going into like decorate my home and I realize that the walls are off, it drives me insane. And it used to be a big issue for me when I was playing the Sims games, and they didn't have that, and so you just had to eyeball it. And eyeballing it gets annoying after a while, especially when you're halfway into decorating your house and you realize that the walls are not matching, and your kitchen counters won't fit. Anyway, just a W thing that they implemented. So thank you, KJ and team, for thinking about us in building. Camera, focus camera and shoulder view for keyboard. This is set to center. Now we're into gameplay. The very first thing they have up here is language, and this is just letting us know what level our current language is translated in the game. English is 89% translated in the game. Free will, mine is set on to default on, and prevent conversation interruption. I turned that on immediately. I don't know why I got demonic on y'all real quick, but oh my goodness. If I was going to go on another tangent, this would be it. I am so glad that they gave us this option to basically turn on so ZOIs won't come out of nowhere to go and start having a conversation with your ZOI while they're having one with someone else. Like, because that was one of the biggest issues for a lot of people was that ZOIs, like halfway across the dang city, wanted to come over and have a conversation with your ZOI or with the ZOI that your ZOI is talking to. So this is what it says: prevent other ZOIs from interrupting when the ZOI in play is having a conversation. W, implementation. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Ooh, sorry. Smart ZOI, I have it turned off. My computer cannot handle Smart ZOI, especially with the settings that I have right here. This is the last thing I experimented with, which was my ZOI's family. And I just like, it doesn't service me to have it on. As much as it's fun, it just doesn't. It makes my computer run really hot. And sometimes the ZOIs don't even follow the prompts, even when you're making them pretty simple. Because sometimes they follow them, sometimes they don't. In the very beginning, I felt like they were following it. But as
updates started rolling out, they started feeling less like they were paying attention. And again, I'm using an AMD card and a very much older one that was kind of like on the cusp of the AI thing. So it may be because of my card, but who knows? A lot of people said they've had a lot of fun using the SmartZOI, so kudos to them, and I'm happy for y'all. But girl right here, she just can't. But I have it turned off. Driving, I have this set to on for manual driving. I like to drive in the game. Does that mean I know how to? We ain't gonna talk about that. Anyway, I have this set to on. Save, enabling autosave and autosave interval. I have this on and it's set to 15 minutes. This is the base or the standard or default, whichever you want to call it. I love this feature. This is one of the best features that they could have ever had originally implemented in this game, because I used to crash out so many times because my Sims would constantly they would constantly be at odds with me with living. Like they had a grudge against breathing air. If you know, you know. So having this save auto option on has been very much game changer for me, especially when I forget to save. And so having this is wonderful. Other recommended canvas creation pop-up. I have this off. I don't need to be recommended anything. I don't need to be sold anything. So this is off. Pop-up auto close. I have this off as well, so I can take my time to read the pop-up cards that pop up. And so I do like that they give us the option to have it on or off, especially if you wanted to do, let's say for instance, you want to do a 24-hour stream or a 24-hour challenge where you're letting your Zois slowly die and burn to death. You know what? Y'all tell me down in the comment sections if you kind of want to see me do one of these 24-hour challenges with my Zois with the auto pop up on to close it. Should be fun. Character name format, follow language settings. So to basically simplify this is just, if you, let's say for instance your Zoi goes to the 1, their last name will be first and their first name will be last, and vice versa if they go to Bliss Bay, where the first name is first and the last name is last. I like this, the way this is set up, because it gives you the chance to be more immersed in the world without just conforming to one way of being or one way of doing the names. Temperature scale, I have it in Fahrenheit. I can't do Celsius because my brain will not compute. That doesn't mean I can't read it. It's just I choose not to. Anyway. Enable property markers on screen. This is basically just letting you keep the markers for your town. Like for, say for instance, you see a store or Nook's select shop. You can see it on your map. That's basically what it is. And it's good for people who want to do machinimas or something like that and be more immersed in their gameplay. They can turn this off or turn it back on. Using notification inbox, I have this on. So in case somebody were to write me or to message me or leave a, not message me, but like leave a comment on an item of mine in the canvas, I can see it. Show control guide. I don't know why my brain blanked on that one. Show control guide. This is basically just to show you the controls and stuff when you're like in a car and something like that, or when you're in tab mode. Show hotkey guide UI. Again, that's something that I'll have to show y'all later, but I do have it on so I can go through it and we can basically configure a hotkey guide. I mean, not guide, but a hotkey template. So look forward to that, y'all. Refresh property manually. It's basically just like, I guess the best way to explain this is like if you ever play Sims 3 and you play with the mod inROS, city clean or whatever it's called, it basically just wipes your city or like resets everything. My texture sharing settings, I have this available to everyone, so if I post something on Canvas, you guys will get my texture. They do have an option where people, if they want to just share their design without giving out the design to other people, but they just want to show it, then they can do that. But I just have mine set to available to everyone, so if you want it in your game, you can have it. Skip intro by default. This is one of the best implementations that they did right after they launched the game, because there was a mod for this, and no sooner did they start sending out the patch, this was one of the things that they patched in, which was the skip intro by default. So you can have it turned on or off. I have mine turned on. Not that there's something wrong with the intro, because I think the intro is very nice, but I don't want to see it every time I get on my game. So W team, again, for implementing quality of life improvements. Teleport when traveling to a destination. I have this all turned off because I like to enjoy the journey when I'm going somewhere with my Zois. So this is turned off for me. Mods, I have this one enabled off because with us getting so many updates, and as much as I like my mods, they were just basically custom content, like stuff like hair, hair, clothes. You know, if you need to know where you need to turn off your mods when an update happens, this is where you go to enable mods on or off. This is where you turn them off, so your game won't go when the update hits. Game information. It's just going to show you the game version, the copyright notice details, and the UID that you use to make your account on inZOI Studios webpage or Crafting's webpage. And hopefully in the future, we'll be able to use these to send to each other for multiplayer. So honestly, I've been feeling mixed feelings about the multiplayer thing, but I kind of would like to do that because it seems like a fun thing to do with close friends if we have closed lobbies, like kind of how GTA has closed lobbies for you to play with your friends. If we can have something like that, on board for it. Creator code. I don't have a creator code yet. One day I will though. But in that time, if you see a creator that you really do enjoy and they have a creator code and they advertise that, this is where you go to put that creator code in. Experimental. Move directly to destination pop-up. I have that off. I don't need that. I don't want that popping up and asking me if I want to do that. No, I don't want to. Thank you and have a good day. Autonomy multi-interaction. Now, I had to go and look into this one because this is new. I have never seen this before. And so I went to go look up and see what this is. And essentially, again, this will be part of the key down in the description and the comment section. Autonomy multi-interaction is for multitasking. On allows Zoids to automatically talk, eat, act while doing other things, best for realism. So basically, this is it's experimental right now, but it basically makes sure Zoids more human-like or more interactive with their environment instead of just doing one thing and not doing anything else. So I'm going to be playing around with this and see how this works out. And and I'll let you know because I'm more than likely going to have a video of them doing something outrageous. But yeah. So that is the end of the video, everyone. I hope this helps even a little bit. If it did, leave a comment down below on what would you like to see me cover next. As I said in the beginning of the video, I'll be making a series covering as many topics concerning inZOI's features, settings, and updates. So let me know what you feel isn't being covered or needs investigated because your girl is on it. She's all about getting the tea. Again, if you like my content and want to support me, leave a like, comment, or subscribe to my channel for more videos like these where I deep dive into the different settings, features, and other not too talked about aspects of the game. Hope to see you guys next time. Bye.